For today's headlines, Philippines bars travelers from India over new COVID-19 variant. Private sector vax expected by June. FDA okays Ivermectin use by 2 more hospitals. Rody hands off sack Parlade calls. SolGen moves for dismissal of 37 anti-terror law petitions. Ressa wins UN Press Prize. Women's volleyball called on PNVF tryouts. Easterlies to bring isolated rains. Good morning, I am Sandy Locos and you're watching Tribune News on Q. Today is Wednesday, April 28, and now the news. Foreign travelers from India are barred from entering the Philippines starting April 29 until May 14, Malacanang announced on Tuesday, in an effort to prevent the new corona variant from spreading locally. Those who traveled in India within the last 14 days preceding arrival are included in the travel restriction, except those who are already in transit and will arrive before April 29, Presidential Spokesperson Secretary Harry Roque noted. As a precautionary measure, those excluded from restrictions are required to undergo swab test for coronavirus. They also have to observe an absolute facility-based quarantine for 14 days regardless of their test results. The travel restriction follows the detection of a double mutant COVID-19 variant in India. Dubbed as B1617, the new virus type has a number of mutations that could increase transmissibility and help escape immune response. The Philippines has not yet recorded a case of the India variant based on the genomic sequencing of over 5,000 samples. About 1.5 million economic frontliners, composed of workers from private entities, may be inoculated in June, Presidential Advisor on Entrepreneurship Secretary Joey Concepcion said on Tuesday. This was after AstraZeneca has confirmed the first batch of delivery of some 1.5 million doses of the said vaccines in June, which will be facilitated for the workers of the private sector. Under the project A Dose of Hope, the private sector, led by Concepcion, has secured 17 million AstraZeneca doses, 11 million of which will be donated to the government, while the remaining 6 million will be given to private workers. The 17 million AstraZeneca vaccines will be delivered continuously not later than February next year. Aside from AstraZeneca, more than 100,000 vaccines of Moderna, which on Monday applied for its emergency use authorization, will be arriving sometime in June, while the other bulk of dosages will be coming a little bit later. By August until September, American vaccine Novavax will also be coming into the country, while India's Bharat Biotech vaccine may arrive by June. The Food and Drug Administration has granted 2 more hospitals a compassionate special permit to use the anti-parasitic drug Ivermectin as a treatment against the deadly coronavirus. FDA Director General Eric Domingo said on Tuesday that the state regulator issued CSP to more hospitals, increasing the total number to 5. As of April 22, only 3 hospitals in the country were given CSP. Domingo said that any doctor or medical institution may apply for CSP, and it will only take 48 hours to be approved, given that complete requirements are submitted. Ivermectin has been the subject of a heated debate for months now, as critics and supporters clash on its effectiveness for COVID-19. Doctors and patients who have tried the medication vouch for it, but the FDA, along with the Department of Health, warned the public against using it. Tribune News and Q will be back after these reminders.
Montero Sport. Elevate your journey.
Drive your ambition. Mitsubishi Motors.
President Rodrigo Duterte is keeping his hands off mounting calls to fire the controversial spokesperson of the government's anti-insurgency task force, Malacanang said on Tuesday. Duterte spokesperson Secretary Harry Roque said that it is up to the National Task Force to end local communist armed conflict to decide whether Lieutenant General Antonio Parlade Jr. should be removed as the body's mouthpiece. The reaction was in response to the statement of Senator Panfilo Lacson that Parlade should be dismissed from post after he relentlessly linked the Community Pantry Initiative to the communist movement. Parlade, along with Communications Undersecretary Lorraine Badoy, have been criticized by lawmakers and civil groups over their baseless and substantiated claims against community pantry organizers. 15 senators filed on Tuesday a resolution calling to censure Parlade for his disrespectful, derogatory, and demeaning statements. Parlade has earlier insulted the legislators and called them stupid after several of them sought to defund the NTFL CAC, which has received 19.9 billion pesos budget this year. Solicitor General Jose Calida on Tuesday has asked the Supreme Court to junk 37 petitions seeking to declare the anti-terrorism law as unconstitutional. Reiterating that the government is not the enemy, Calida issued the pleading during the resumption of the oral arguments over the various stakeholders' petitions questioning the constitutionality of the Anti-Terrorism Act of 2020. Calida also vowed not to be allowed lawsuits to derail the implementation of the ATA, citing several grounds for the dismissal of the petitions, such as supervening events and that political questions are beyond the jurisdiction of the SC. The SolGen stressed that ATA is essential to the Philippines' compliance with its international obligations. He reiterated that the Anti-Terrorism Act is not an instrument of oppression, nor it is a tool to suppress the vibrance of the country's democracy. The UN's Cultural Agency on Tuesday awarded its annual Press Freedom Prize to Philippine journalist Maria Ressa, whose reporting has made her a target of her country's judiciary and online hate campaigns. Ressa, a former Asia lead investigative reporter for U.S. network CNN and head of domestic network ABS-CBN News, now manages the news website Rappler, whose reporting has attracted the wrath of Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte. Ressa, who was awarded as Time Magazine Person of the Year in 2018, was in court last month to deny charges of dodging taxes as authorities continued a crackdown against the country's independent media. Last year, Ressa was convicted of cyber libel by a Manila court but is free on bail pending an appeal in a case that could see her handed 6 years in jail. Other cases against her are pending. We will be back. Stay with us.
Iba ng panahon, dami ng bago ngayon. Pati ang mundo natin, well, nagbago na rin. Buti ang bayan, bigger, better na. You can buy it sa centers, pati sa mga parties, may online pa at app. You can buy it with your fingers, still don't remittance and more. Online shopping, you can buy it all. Di magpadala, you can buy it all. Anong pera transaction, you can buy it all.
Sabayan ang pagbabago ng mundo for all your pera transactions, all new Bayan.
Viber is the free and secure way to connect with friends and family, anywhere. Send messages and make phone and video calls for free. Download Viber now.
Good morning, sir. How may I help you?
Bakit kailangan ko pang pumunta sa bangko?
Oo nga naman, sir. Ba't kailangan pang pumunta sa bangko?
Why not get a UB app so you can do all these without going to the bank? Bank the way you live. Union Bank.
In sports, Eliza Valdez and other players of the Premier Volleyball League decided to skip the 3-day tryouts being organized by the Philippine National Volleyball Federation in Subic on Wednesday. Valdez on Monday submitted a letter to the PNVF leadership expressing her intention to skip the tryouts because of health and safety concerns. Meanwhile, Filipino-American Kale Maui won't be available for the tryouts as she will be playing in Puerto Rico. Rising star Angel Canino also begged off, as well as other veterans Dindin Manabat, Rhea de Mocolangan, and Alohi Robbins. Overall, only 17 of the 40 invited women's players are confirmed to attend the tryouts for the squad that will compete in the 31st Southeast Asian Games in Vietnam in November. Metro Manila and the rest of the country will have generally fair and warm humid weather except for isolated rain showers and thunderstorms, mostly in the afternoon or evening caused by the Easterlies. The Easterlies will also bring partly cloudy to cloudy skies all over the country. Heat index in Metro Manila could reach a maximum of 34.1 degrees Celsius. That wraps up the stories this morning. Catch the latest news on our website at tribune.net.ph and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. The Daily Tribune is one with the nation in facing the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, the Daily Tribune Digital Edition and Press Reader is now available for free online. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store or Google Play to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune is also inviting everyone to join its community Viber Kachibu to get updates on the freshest and hottest news and entertainment stories of the day. Tarsito emoticons are also available on our community Viber. Just visit the sticker store and search for Kachibu Community. And before we go, we would like to thank the SM Store and Araneta Center. Again, this is Sandy Locos and you're watching Tribune News on Q. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good morning and have a nice day.